You're listening to Beat 102 103. This is Irish Beats with Rob O'Connor into the second hour of the show and kicking things off with Soak. Everybody Loves You, who's back after an absence of a couple of years. And another person who's back after an absence of a couple of years is Mr. Shane Barry, and he's here with me in studio. Shane, how are you, sir?
Great, Rob. How are you?
I'm not too bad. Shane, you're originally from Waterford. You're now living in Cork. You played in about 100 million bands down through the years, and then, you, as they say on the internet, you went dark.
Yeah,
but now you're back.
Underground.
So what's the story?
Well, I suppose I had the first album out with The Distractions.
Yes.
It's actually 10-year anniversary.
Is it?
Yeah, sad to look back at how long that was. We recorded another album, but it never got released. I went back to college, moved down to Cork, pretended I was a songwriter without actually recording or playing gigs. And then I decided to get my act together. So I've started recording this, or I suppose it's finished now, first solo album.
Brilliant. Well, listen, let's pick that story up in a second and we play a track. This is the first of the new batch of singles. I've played it a number of times on the show, but it's a nice one to set the scene. This is Summer Kids from Shane Barry, although looking out the window it's pretty dark and miserable, so hopefully this will bring a little sunshine into your life. That is Summer Kids from Shane Barry, who's here with me in studio. And that is the lead single taken from Shane's new album, The Night Post, which is out when, Shane?
At this stage now, it's probably going to be towards next summer, I'd say.
Towards next summer,
yeah,
okay.
It's like it's turning into Chinese Democracy by Guns N' Roses.
Okay, hopefully not as much drama.
It is recorded and finished, though. It's just a case of getting my act together and putting it out.
Okay, right. I want to read you something that is up on your Facebook page. It says, I began writing songs having given up on trying to be a prodigious guitar instrumentalist. Like most, the first songs were terrible and should never be spoken about. I began playing in cover bands and blah, 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 blah. You're very hard on yourself.
I think, yeah, you should have a good inner critic.
Okay.
Otherwise, I think your song quality would drop if you thought everything you did was amazing.
Okay, so is that, because I remember stuff that you would have done with Shane Barry and The Distractions, and also then with Duped before that. And are you disregarding the music that you've done in the past, or is it that, actually no, you tell me, what is it?
No, I mean, when I say my first songs were terrible, I suppose the ones you write when you're in your first learning guitar at the age of 15, kind of 16.
Oh, is this kind of Hold My Hand and Love You Till the End of Time kind of songs? Like?
I never got that bad, but yeah, it was heading down that kind of territory. But the stuff I did with Duped, the first kind of original band I was in, that was a great learning curve for me in terms of actually playing original music in front of an audience of people. You're kind of aware of if a song is too long, or if you need an extra chorus, that kind of thing, and how to keep things up. And then The Distractions, of course, which was, I suppose, when I kind of struck out after Duped kind of finished up. That was a whole other experience of, I had a 7-piece band behind me, so that was a kind of a different layer of songwriting.
Yeah, I mean, with The Distractions, you like the kind of the normal rhythm section, like guitar, bass, drums, which also had brass and things like that. I mean, how did you find writing songs for brass? Or did you write songs with brass in mind, or did you just write them?
There was a couple of songs on that first album, Radio Friction, which were written with brass in mind, I suppose, but the basses and all were just a 4-piece, piano, drums, bass, guitar and vocals. And then we were getting to the recording stage, and I said, a bit of brass would be nice on this, and then I managed to rope in people to do free favours and play brass, and then eventually that became the band. Yeah. So that's kind of how that evolved. But that brass sound, I think, really became the kind of core of The Distractions kind of sound after that album was recorded. And then, as I mentioned already, we did record a second album over in Cornwall, which never kind of got released. We kind of recorded bits over there, and we kind of finished it off here. I think it's 8 or 9 tracks. So I think it will eventually see the light of day. But that would be more representative, I think, of The Distractions
than what you're doing
sound,
now.
Than what I'm doing now and what I was doing before. It's kind of all different periods.
So how do you now? Bear in mind, I've only heard 1.5 songs of your new. I saw you live during the summer in Jeff's as part of the Spree Festival. So I've heard Summer Kids, and you sent me another song today before I wrote, which I've kind of half heard. It's very funky actually, which I'm going to play it in a few minutes. So how would you describe the sound of Shane Barry 2018 as opposed to the previous stuff with The Distractions or Duped?
I think maybe the material, the actual subject matter is maybe a bit more mature. Obviously, 10 years on from that first album, which some of the songs were maybe a bit cartoony. So this one's a bit more mature in its approach of I guess the themes that I'm trying to write about. But also, what I originally was trying to do with this album was I started out. I actually wrote one of the first songs I wrote for it was a kind of a pastiche kind of country song,
Which
was about a kind of foretelling my own future of ending up playing in a keyboard combo in the Tower Hotel at the age of 70, and still trying to chase women around the town of Waterford.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
But that started off as kind of a country pastiche. Now I wanted to try and do kind of write a different genre of song for, like a kind of a songbook, to show that I can write different types of music, like a disco song or a kind of a funk tune or a kind of a more punky song. And I was almost heading down pastiche territory, so I kind of reined it in a bit and started looking back at songs I'd been writing during the Distractions, when the Distractions the second album kind of finished a couple of years ago, and I kind of started finishing off those songs and found, okay, there was a good bit of quality of songs, kind of in the bank as such. So I kind of dropped that whole pastiche thing. But that song, actually, that one about the keyboard combo foretelling my future, Nostradamus kind of view of myself, that's actually on the album. It's called When the Toot Gets Long.
Okay, I'm looking forward to hearing that.
So that's one to look out for.
But I'm interested in something that you just said there about songs being kind of cartoony. And again, as something I said to you, are you being a bit hard on yourself? Because if you think about I can certainly think about songs that I would like from bands that, a lot of bands that I would like or musicians that would like, the old joke, I like their early stuff.
Yeah.
And funnily enough, I was listening to Gish today, which is the first album by Smashing Pumpkins. Yeah. And they were all quite young when they did that. And it's full of kind of anger and aggression, and there's a kind of an honesty to it.
Yeah.
And it's certainly not as advanced as some of the stuff that they would have done later, particularly Melancholy and The Infinite Sadness, when they went all strings and all production techniques and stuff like that. But I prefer Gish.
Yeah.
So are you being hard on yourself?
Well, you probably preferred that album because you probably listened at a certain time.
Probably did, yeah.
And other people may have come in to listen to Melancholy and said, "Oh, I love that album."
Yeah.
Which may not have been aware of the previous albums. So I guess it's whenever you listen to it at a certain stage in your own life.
Yeah.
But in terms of my own songwriting, I don't think I'm being harsh as such, and maybe just saying that I kind of wrote those types of songs maybe back then, maybe particularly songs like A Man Called Gerald or something like that kind of tub-thumping kind of rhythm to it, kind of a mixture of the Kinks and Supergrass.
Yeah.
Maybe the influences that I was listening to are very prevalent on the first album, whereas now I think, although I am trying to, kind of, I suppose, emulate certain types of genres of music I listen to, I think it's much more my own sound. Because I wrote it myself, I kind of played most of the instruments on the tracks, and then I drafted in people for different sounds. So I had a much more kind of complete view of what I wanted to achieve. Whereas the other one's kind of like just kind of feeling your way through songwriting.
Yeah. I suppose the other side of that then as well is if you were a man of a certain age trying to write teenage love songs, it would be a bit creepy. So
it would be, I suppose,
it would be. Yeah. Right, come here, listen, you have a guitar with you?
I have a guitar here.
You have a guitar here, and you're going to play something for us. What's this?
Yeah, this is another song off the album. This is called Story to Tell, and it's about the drudgery of you spend so long in your life trying to avoid entering the world of work that this is the 9 to 5 realization encapsulated in hopefully 3 minutes and 10 seconds.
Okay, so this is Story to Tell from Shane Barry live in Beat 102.3. Shane, take it away.
So don't you try very hard, you won't ever get that far. And I wanna believe that there's so much more than this. You lose faith every day, not enough to feel this way. And I wanna remember what you said to me. So let me be the first to say to you, and every single moment has led you to this. So straight lines are taking the place of everything you knew. I try to deceive you, there's more to it than this. You misplace all that you had every time you forget yourself. The time to retrieve it is receding now, I know. Do you remember when we were one of those? Used to shout so loud, I got a story to tell. Let me be the first to say to you, so every single moment has led you to this. You're tied up and doing what you can to get back there somehow. But the world is moving and you don't know what to do. You dragged yourself out of this dream all by yourself. And the victories that you chose are taking where they fall. Do you remember when we were one of those? Used to shout so loud. Do you remember when we were one of those? Used to shout so loud. Got a story to tell.
That is Story to Tell from Mr. Shane Barry, and you will find that on his forthcoming album, The Night Post, which will be out at some stage in the
life circumstance depending.
in the reasonably near future.
Quite a busy couple of months coming up, so yeah, hopefully sometime before the summer anyway.
Okay, but you're going to do a couple of more singles before that, aren't you?
Yeah, I am. I have another single coming out. I was going to release Christmas week, but maybe that's not a good idea.
Good luck with you. You'd be fighting against the best of Aretha Franklin and probably Bee Gees Volume 20,
exactly.
And probably I bet you there'd be a Queen compilation, excuse me, Queen compilation, and
exactly.
God knows what else coming out this.
I think maybe January, probably the next one. Hopefully, I'll have a video on things to accompany that, and a couple of maybe small solo gigs.
Yeah,
and then I'm actually due to record an actual EP in early January, which I think I'll release before the album.
Okay, yeah.
Just so I get something quick out there.
Yeah.
And then maybe concentrate full on a tour then.
You could always do a Christmas song.
Actually, I have two
Have
Christmas
you?
songs, yeah.
There you go now.
I must record them properly.
There you go. They'd be lovely.
You could retire on them.
You could, yeah. All it takes is one hit, or is like the truck of money that is being dieseled up at the moment to bring everything around to Shane McGowan's house. But that's we'll say we won't mention the C word again. Right, listen. If somebody wants to find out more about you, where should they go?
Well, I'm on Twitter and I'm on Facebook. Probably the best places to reach me and follow me. Just type in Shane Barry Music on both, and you'll find me there. And I put in videos and songs and kind of update it regularly enough. And
there'll be live dates and stuff will be announced up there. Now, basically everything will be up there. Yeah. So for future reference.
That's my entire presence.
It is. We all live online these days.
We do indeed.
Do you exist if you're not online?
That is the question.
That is a philosophical question for our times. Right, listen, Shane, thanks very much for coming in. We look forward to hearing more music from you in the reasonably near future, and look forward to Christmas songs as well. No bother at all. Listen, I'm going to play out with this. This is what is going to be your next single.
Yeah, this is a sneak peek.
Okay, so this the first time this has been played?
It is.
Brilliant, right, okay. So this is a world exclusive, Before I Wrote, from Mr. Shane Barry. Shane, thank you.
Cheers, Rob.